Welcome, everyone. Alarm going off right on time. We got the man, the myth, Chance Kornuth in the building. There it is, Chip Leader Coaching. He's got on the shirt that he knows what he's talking about. Chance, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yes, good. Very excited. Of course, this is a big GG Super Millions. We're in season 2023. It's episode 11, but we are dead smack in the middle of the World Festival. 200 million guaranteed prize pool. It doesn't even sound real. I mean, that is, I don't know if I've ever seen an actual guarantee during a series. It seems a little outrageous. Any thoughts on that?
I had no idea it was 200 million. That's wild.
It is wild. There is 4 different tiers. Of course, we got the low, medium, high, and even the super, which we are going to watch the final table today. They play from Sunday, and then we go and we play to a winner, of course, on Tuesday. Every Tuesday, 2:45 Eastern, and you can see a $100,000 leaderboard at each of those levels. Hopefully, there's something there for you. It goes from $2.50 all the way up. So very exciting. We got big names, as always, big prize pool. We're going to take a look at the leaderboard for the year. There's, of course, a super ranking board where Ross still is in first place. He's got that huge score and $1,564,000 in earnings. There will be prizes awarded at the end of the Super Million season. Of course, live Super Millions going on, and they have it done and launched it with the Triton series, and there will be other stops in the world where that is a live series edition. This is the online, and there's the leaderboard. We also do have a stacked final table. Chance, curious how many of these guys you have battled with. We'll take a look at that in a second. 2,280,000 on a Tuesday, playing for in the prize pool. Pretty spicy, pretty juicy. And here is a look at those payouts. Chance, 57 for 9th, 460 up top. I know you've done some MTT studying. We're going to pick your brain about ICM, some situations. Going to lean on you. 9 to 228 remain, and we are in for a treat with some of the biggest names in the game as we will take a look at the final table. Any names you recognize here you've played with, battled with more than others?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I used to battle with Billboard like all the time. I've been in the PLO streets quite a bit with Jan Zarens. And then Benjamin Rowley is obviously like one of the sickos. And then I actually just looked up, and I apologize for my pronunciation, Agnian Dimov. And I've played with him a bunch live as well. And I'm looking for Theo now.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Dimov, he had 3 final tables in season 2, won 2 of those. So, man, when he gets there, he gets it done. So, a guy can play some poker. We'll definitely keep an eye on him today. And we see some familiar names. Benjamin Rowley, of course, got a rival course. Your Chip Leader Coaching, he's Raise Your Edge. And you guys, it's a lot of work to put in these programs, these courses. So, again, hats off to both of you. Both know your stuff and highly recommend. I'll give that endorsement for sure. And it's going to be a fun one. So let us dive in. Let's see who's going to beat the best. We'll dive in this final table right now and take a look at the action. And again, Chance, I'm going to be leaning on you for the action. I want you to make some guesses, give us some thoughts and analysis, but definitely a stacked final table. And I do have to say, Billboard, fresh off commentary here, he took down the 150, like, I don't know, it was like 100,000 people, one buy in 150, won like 800 grand on GG recently. He then came on the show, was a guest, and now here he is at the final table rocking a Brazilian flag. A little flavor there for our friend. And we are going to go ahead and call the action right off the gate. We got some stuff going. So anything stand out here in the opening hand, man? Kings.
Well, I mean, the only thing that's going to be interesting here is whether or not Benjamin chooses to 3-bet. I would expect tens to play this as a flat from the small blind. But something that's like really interesting that I wasn't aware of is the payouts. The steepness of the payouts determines so much stuff about your playstyle. And when you have these super flat payouts, which is what these are in this case, then you're actually just highly incentivized to play for move ups as opposed to like chip EV. So we're going to see a lot of conservative play, especially as the short stacks get more shallow.
Yeah, I think you're right. That was just you're going to see that flat with this spot. It is an interesting dynamic when you got people that play a completely different strategy, right? There's just some people you just never know. You're going to see wild, crazy, some you'll see conservative. But I do want to talk a lot about that with the payout structure and how you would proceed, Chance, in some of these spots. Are you surprised with this at all?
I'm surprised by how flat the payouts are. Like it's good for poker sites because more people have more money to play. You don't want someone to just take down 700,000 and take it out and withdraw it from the site. Um, but in general, the play does not surprise me at all. I think this turn lead by tens is like pretty good. It allows you to lose the minimum when you're behind, and you have a ton of queen X in your range here, and so you're super protected if your opponent gets aggressive.
Yeah, it's interesting as we do see the heart coming on the river. Pretty interesting spot. Two of the bigger stacks, they're healthy stacks, I should say. A lot of chips in this tournament right now, so it is a curious 1.1 in the middle, and you're sort of in the middle on your range here. What do you like here?
Either like a really small block if you think he's like calling his highs on a turn, but I think that a check is going to be much better with a heart in our hand. It makes it less likely our opponent has flush draws and more likely that they have like overpairs and ace highs. So you could actually turn your hand into a bluff and check raise. I don't think check call is good because your opponent really is going to have like jacks, kings, aces, and a ton of queen X, and probably not going to call their too many of the ace highs on the turn. Like when it's positions of like under the gun and small blind, you just have like such strong ranges, and the stronger people's ranges are, the more in line you'll tend to see opponents.
Yeah, it is a very, very, I'd say, skill deep final table. I mean, I expect this one to go, but you never know. We've had tables where we lose 5 people quickly in like 40 minutes, and then it takes forever. Of course, it gets deeper, so you just never know what you're going to get. Super excited. We got to do it. We got to gamble for something. I'm going to have a retweet $50 on my Twitter. We got the hands up. We'll have a bonus to jackpot that's progressive. That will be a pinned link on YouTube. You guys can guess the winning hand, and then Chance, we got to give everyone at least 50 or 100. We're gonna select some players, give the audience some to sweat, and then you and I will have a dinner bet if you're up for that. We can do red or black, and then go first gets first pick, second gets second, third, then snake draft down if you're in for a little action.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. But let's do like a nice, maybe like sushi Japanese place, like something nice. Like it's got to sting a little bit.
I love Chick-fil-A, but yeah, this is good. We need a little pain here. We need something that will feel a double date. The wifeys, maybe the kids are getting older. We could do
no kind of food during the World Series.
You want to push it up? You want to go Disney vacation, Chance? I mean, what do you want? Whatever you want on here.
I mean, kids under 3 years old are still free. I just learned yesterday from my wife.
Oh wow! How old? Almost 2 for you, right?
2.5 almost.
Okay, nice. Yeah, we got a 5-week-old and a 4-year-old now, so it goes fast. But whatever you want, we can just do a nice dinner. That sounds good during the World Series coming up. That'll be that seems good.
Okay, cool. I want to go to Makuta.
And red or black? What do you got? I'll give you the pick.
Red. For the first flop, right?
Yeah, it is for the next flop. Yes. And everyone at home, I welcome in. Let us know where you're watching from. A big treat to have Chance today. He's a busy man. He said yes, was very excited. And we found out we got confused. So many different things, but he was on the show when I was not there. Kevin was hosting. I think I couldn't be there. Kevin, who has hosted before, was the leading it, and Chance did the commentary. So it's great to do this. I think it's our first time calling action together. We did the podcast, but not this.
I was a little offended that you didn't remember me, and then you reminded me that it was Kevin, and I was like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, it's of course. I listen, man, when you have kids, stuff starts blending together, start losing track of stuff, forget what you had for breakfast. So I was actually genuinely not sure what was going on, but we're good. We're on the way, and we got the soy boy. Did we see a flop? Let me see. I don't think we have, right?
We're still pending. I'm interested to see if Jans plays this as a 3-bet call or a flat. I would expect he's going to play as a call versus under the gun range, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it either way.
Yeah, it's 9-handed ace queen. This is the hand, man. I would pay for a private course. You should have an ace queen off section in your curriculum. I feel like this hand is everyone's like, oh, jacks are hard. I hate jacks.
Ace queen and jacks.
It's just I like jacks. I don't mind jacks, but ace queen is hard. It just feels really hard to ever get a great spot, and it just kind of I don't know. It just seems like a difficult one, but he does go for the 3-bet here.
Did he make it 240?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he chose such a small size. I wonder if his plan is to fold to a shove, under the impression that Filbert wouldn't be jamming anything he dominates. Yeah,
Wow.
interesting.
And
Huh.
I do have to give a shout out to Brazil. Billboard is not Brazilian. He might be in Brazil, or that's where he set up his situation. But we've had a Brazilian flag or an Austrian flag each at every final table. If we don't have a Brazilian and Austrian, you guys in the chat, you can hold me to it. I'm gonna make it a $200 giveaway. I'm gonna double it up. If we don't have one represented at a final table, it's just automatic. I mean, there's some things that are automatic, and that seems like it. I got to ask you, Chets, what is your favorite? You are the strongest countries you believe in, and if you had to like stereotype right now, who's playing the strongest brand of poker in the world at the moment?
Man, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, the Austrians have been great. The Brazilians are doing something that I find like really interesting with the split sizing pre-flop. At least in the PCA in January, that's what a ton of them are doing, where they have like a 2.2x and a 3.5x sizing, and it's very complicated and interesting. I think that if they're executing it poorly, it's probably costing them a lot of EV, but if executed perfectly, they're probably printing EV. So those are interesting spots, I think.
For sure. Well, we've got black on the flop, Chance, so we are officially in action. We are.
Oh yeah, I didn't lose the dinner yet. You just get to choose first.
Yeah, but might as well. It just feels right. I feel like that's a good start. You know, that's a big deal. It matters for sure. Sometimes the chips line up where the 2-3 pick is juicy though here. So let's see. And the audience is gonna have a sweat 50 or 100. The hands up promo is there. What's up, man? The UK in the building, and Alabama. Wow, we got everybody. We got a wide range. That's a wide range. We're all over the world right now. Appreciate you guys being in. 600 on. We just got underway. We will play to a winner. And Jack 10 high, that is not a good hand to have. And we are going to see a big bet. Easy game, putting pressure on the eights. Woo! Ooh.
Yeah, I mean he blocks King Jack, King 10, and has a huge range advantage on the King. So with a hand with no showdown value, I'm not surprised to see him bluff here. You think he calls?
You know what? Ben's he's got reads. He knows the guy. He understands situations. Chip leader can put pressure. I think it's like 60-40 that he does. Maybe it's even 70-30 he does not call, but he's curious, man. He's a curious millionaire. You know, he's got bread and he's looking, he might have to check this one out, take a peek, keep someone honest. Big moment, right? Big can. He calls and wins. He's in a whole different zip code of stack size.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a call. I actually lean towards him calling.
Oh, and look at this, my man, off to a good start. And that's just in time for picks. We're gonna make some picks here, and I mean, how can I not? I've been with Raise Your Edge for a long time, and I'm gonna go with Ben. I'm gonna take him right now.
I think that's a reasonable pick because I think with like 2 picks now, like I'm very likely to not let him get back to you. I mean, I gotta take my boy Dimon, the closer, and then super. I mean, I gotta take easy game and Dimon. He's got easy game has a bad seat at the table. Like I actually think Dimon has a better chance at winning, but yeah, he's a clear second choice.
Yeah, this is okay. So
are you making the list of the picks for us?
Yeah. Okay, I got it over here. And then so you got that. That's a tough. So 2, 3.
Also, did you tag me in any tweets that I should be retweeting?
I will take, man, tough spot. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'll go Jans Aaron's. I'm not sure about this guy. I'm trying to look at my notes here on the table for that. I don't believe Sakush has. Yeah, I don't know as much about this player. Hasn't more lately started playing Super Millions, but not as much results. I'll go with Jans Aaron's, world class player for sure.
You only get 1 pick, not 2.
Yeah, it goes 1-2, 1-1 down.
Oh, okay. Then I'll take Sakush next.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna go with I mean, what? It's just gonna line up, man. This seems like it's shaking out nice. Philbort. How do you not get? I gotta go Philbort. Brazilian
Damn it.
flag. Bet on the show. Bet on the podcast.
Yeah,
Energy. He's a positivity guy. I love him.
He's the clear choice. Hmm. So who do we have left? Theo, Mr. Doberman, and Soybean? Oh no, there's only 5 people been picked, right? No, that's
Yeah, you still there's still a few left. You got Doberman. You got
Theo
Theo.
and Soybean.
Yep.
There's only 3 left. Will you confirm that though?
Yep.
All right, I'll take. Man, I'm gonna take the guy who started in last. I'm gonna go with Theo.
Wow. All right. Respect. And we got all in. Queens, ace jack suited. And what is the price is right? Doberman at risk. Also implications on the drafting here. Ace jack so powerful. It's so scary. Ace jack suited to queens. And
That's huge for the draft.
this is a it's not a queen. It is a GG. And Dimoff gonna go with the math. He 3-bets figures, probably equities close after he puts the chips in. GG's all around 8-handed. We are off to a fast start here in the Super Millions during the 200 million guarantee. Chance brings action. Chance likes to play big pots, and we got 5 million over to Dimoff. And this is that was a lot of variance in poker, right? This is a big start for.
I mean, that was huge for the draft. My guy won the all in, and otherwise you would have got to pick a guy with like 2.5.
So wait, you picked Theo, right? So Soy's the only one left.
Yeah, so you get Soy.
Soy. All right, 4-4. I'm gonna get the audience. We're gonna divvy up the audience. It's gonna be 50 or 100. Got to give him Role. Gonna give him Dimoff. Give him Phil Bort. Been on the show, and Jan's Aaron's. Let's give him a little bit of household names, a little bit of regulars. Those are the 4 for 100. If any of the other 4, you get 50. So 100 if those 4 I just listed win. 50 if it is another. We will have you got to hit the thumbs up and be ready for the keyword at the end of the show for that giveaway. Twitter live and hands up live. 3 giveaways today on the Super Millions. So enjoy. Good luck to all of you at home, and Chance, good luck on our dinner bet. Let's focus in here, man. I don't want to miss a hand. I'm taking notes. I'm excited. I love this. I literally love this every week. It's like a study session. Some of the best in the world, big prizes. Very fun to be on this.
I would expect to see a raise here, yeah, from easy. You get to pick on a short stack who really can't defend super wide. You cover everyone behind you, and when the big stack is like when the one player at the table that covers you is in the small blind, you just get to play a few more hands.
Lithuania, what's up? Good to see you, man. Wow, that's a place I haven't been. Love to go there. King 4 suited does make a pair. These are hard to play though, right? When you go post flop, even here, it's like a really dicey board. Top pair. Role realizes the easy game can open super wide, and he is going to start betting.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of 10x. He probably has some like 10-8 suited, but he more importantly has like pocket 10s, Jack 10, and Queen 10. The suited varieties only. I don't think he ever checks like ace 10 or 9 10 on the flop.
Corey Bullerjack makes a great point. All these dinners. I will say there's no one I've seen that's been on the show, and there's a lot of dinners. It's getting crazy. I can't keep track. I get picked off too. I don't have a sheet. Like you could tell me you won the dinner from 10 shows ago. I don't know if I know. I might end up just treating every guest to dinners unless they just tell me. Luckily integrity is a big part of this, and they'll probably remember. But they blend together. I do not know at this point who I'm winning and losing. I need to start getting organized on that. But this is a interesting spot if Ben will go for it or not. Doesn't King 4?
Looks like he was just betting to target like some 5s through 8s type of combos and give up. There's also less combos of like Jack 10 suited on the river, so I can definitely see that logic for why to shut down. So like we said before, the payouts are super flat. With 4 players behind, I'm not certain if he'd jam this. King 4 suited did just get to showdown. It's certainly a close spot. I'd expect to see a billboard call here. You could 3-bet fold these, but I think there's like maybe the offsuit combos that are much better to do it with.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Definitely interesting spot where you're going to see a different strategy. And we saw Ben go ahead, took a shot, and then gave up. And here, A7 suited going to continue. Filbert, not a favorable flop, although it could have been worse in that situation. So nice pot for easy game. Over 5 million, looking very healthy at the moment. How wide are you going? Like you saw the King 4 suited, obviously depends under the gun +1, who's on the button, who's in the blinds, but how wide would you like to see easy game? What percent kind of, how crazy can you get here?
The 2 most important factors to consider when determining how much to widen your opening range is who the player on the button is and who the player in the big blind is, since they're the 2 people you're most likely to be in pots first. And so with the King 4 suited, Theo is in the big blind, and because Theo and Soybean are like kind of both fighting for this like pay jump at the moment, it basically means he just can't defend as wide, because then he becomes the shorter one, has to like shove more often. So Theo can't defend as wide. Filbert can defend a little bit wider. But yeah, that's like one of the biggest determining factors. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a 3-bet bluff here from the big blind, but it's a little wide. But attacking that like medium stack is definitely one of the most fun things to do at final tables.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very good point. As we see a fold to the button, ace-9, couple hands, big blind and the button have.
And because of the 3 shorties, yeah, he's just almost always going to call.
All right, let me get this link.
Small. Go ahead.
I'm just going to link in the chat for the $50 retweet. That is there. And ace-9, set of eights. Interesting spot on this board. You just always calling, or with some draws, you pump it up?
Versus small size, I would be inclined to raise at this stack depth. Versus a large size, I would just call. This is a small size, but he also has 8 of clubs, so it's pretty close. Yeah, still expect to see a raise. I love when it's our 2 guys battling against each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of those spots too. You can maybe get it all. You can possibly, go for the jugular. So it is interesting. This is the stuff we want to know, want to hear what your factors are.
It also depends like greatly on your opponent's like barrel frequency. Like against an opponent who just like fires one with their air and shuts down, then you're always going to want to check raise the flop. But versus an opponent who is capable of just like starting small and then just going crazy, well, then I'd be way more inclined to protect my flop calling range and like set the trap.
Okay. Well, 6-7 suited, one of those fun hands to play and get an open here and bend. This is sort of one of those ones too that are hard to play out of position. He does go with the call. Is there any version, maybe just not versus the chip leader in that spot to raise? What would you, what are you looking at with the ace-5 off there? Is that just always a call in your mind versus this situation?
Yeah, personally, I almost always just pure call it. I have seen like a higher frequency of 3-bet bluffs with some of these combos, but the 5 plays pretty good. Maybe you can choose from the weaker ones to bluff with.
Six, seven, not much going here. Has a gut shot and a pretty dreamy card for Ben. I mean, he knows that there are bluffs that there's going to be some continuation on, although it's scary too, right? You're going to be super smoked here some of the time. You do have a gut shot to go with it. Certainly going to be continuing, but it can get a little dicey. And that is a spectacular run out. If I've seen one, that is definitely a fist pump. And do you go? This is the hardest part in poker in my mind. You go for value. This is where it's so important to put your opponent on a specific hand. What will he do with his bluffs? Is he going to call with his ace queen, ace jack, ace kings? You know, what sizing can you get away with? And chance, defer to you.
There's some like really simplified versions of like when talking about leading. And the one I like the most is like based on your opponent's bet frequency. So if it's a card that they're very unlikely to bet with their air or their value, then you should definitely have a lot more leads. But in this scenario, I think that like Ben doesn't have a ton of 5x, and so there is a chance that if Easy Game had ace queen or ace jack per se, like he's probably going to value bet again, which means I would go for the check as well. It's interesting to see that Easy Game just checked like the stone worst possible hand he can land on the river with. Like he actually had the nut low, which is interesting. Not everyone does.
How do you like when you see something like that? I think this is why poker's fascinating as well, because you could look at that if you're a viewer and say, man, how does he not go for it? Like you have the worst hand, you need to bluff. But then there's also like understanding what your opponent has and then making a disciplined check back if you really believe you can't get him to fold. So how do you, is that just dependent? Like how do you perceive on spots like that when you
well, I'm happy this hand came up because this is exactly why you pass. You still have, almost a chip lead. You don't want to give Rolly through to your left, like a chip lead on you, and then you have two players behind you that reduce your open frequency. And so by giving up, it actually allows him to continue on pick on players that are on his right, as seen in that hand there. So yes, betting might be slightly plus EV in some spots. But then again, like Rolly's super sticky and he's jeopardizing his ability to like continue to play a lot of pots.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty tough lineup, I would say. It's a mix, right? We got some big names in the game. Phil Bohr played on the highest stakes tour for a long time, playing the high rollers during the kind of the start 2012-13, where it became 100K, started becoming like a weekly, just the Alpha 8 tour. Battled with him a fair amount on those, and it was kind of a wild time. And then he sort of took a break. He's gotten back into poker and had a lot of success. Of course, Benjamin Raleigh, you mentioned, Dimhoff, very talented. Jan Zaren's extremely talented. Easy Game has a lot of results and known online. So this is a pretty nice mix, and we do have a few new names as well. So I think we'll see a lot of exciting play in several real hands here.
Yeah, I don't think Jan's range versus under the gun 1 actually has many bluffs. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it go fold here, even though everyone does have so much hand. Like for the same reasons that he didn't want to bluff the 6-7 with diamonds is like the same reason he's going to want to fold here, is because it just jeopardizes his ability to punish this super flat ICM payout. And like when the payout's really steep, you can't punish, like you can't go as hard, because your opponents basically can, like they're incentivized to like gamble, 3-bet shove more, because getting a stack for a super top heavy payout makes it more plus EV. But when they're super flat payouts, you're going to be way less incentivized to take risk.
Yeah, there's something just so beautiful about tournament poker, right? It's just like every final table, it's like no matter how similar it is, it's just different. Who has the chips, what the strategy is, what the pay jumps are, what the format is, all that. It's just kind of like artwork. And here we're gonna see a pure flip. Nines, ace, queen, nines, of course, slight advantage. Soy Boy is in front, ace queen. That's a hand I talk about. Just never seems. I'm sorry, Easy Game in front. Soy Boy needs help, and it is. Chance isn't feeling it. Just splits it. The ace and the queen, the king. It's just hard to win those hands. Easy Game. It is easy when you win flips, when you're chip leader, when things are working. Emojis all around. People.
Everyone's so nice at this final table.
Yeah, clap, offer clap. Yeah, it's exactly friendly. It's easier, more friendly when people are out, but it's tough when you're all in. Everyone's. Yeah, it is down to 7 pretty quick. Couple of all-ins going. It is moving. Chips are going, and it is moving.
Down to 7. Let's go. All right, my two boys are the chip leader. I'm liking this dinner bet at the moment. Not going with it. Is he going to go to the? Oh, I was hoping he played the 10 deuce again. Did you see Raleigh's Twitter clip about the 10 deuce hand, and then he got aces the next one?
No, no, I didn't catch
He
it.
raised 10 deuce under the gun, big blind calls, comes queen, queen, five, I think, rainbow. Check, quarter, check, raise, and he three bets flop and wins. And then the very next hand he gets aces and stacks the guy he bluffed.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's nice.
There's a lot of Fort Doyle action right now, which, RIP.
Yeah, well, this is a spot. Jack 9 going to come in swinging into the King 5 suited blind on blind. I think the most fascinating thing in poker. It's just such a wide range of hands players have and different strategies. Here we see Easy Game, who will pick up some basically a no equity bluff on the flop. Now he does have the gut shot, and he is understanding Jan Zaren's also going to have some decent hands, all right. He's not just going to have a super weak hand. So he does decide to slow down. You will see some players barrel here. What do you think about the decision to sort of in a sense give up?
People kind of have this delusion of range advantage when like, oh, I raise pre-flop, like the ace king board's supposed to be me, and then I just like go crazy. But I think that's actually a pretty big mistake, specifically because Easy Game with the stacks as they are is going to be raising a very high frequency from the small blind. And when that's the case, he lands here with like the 8-4 off, the Jack 9 off, and Jans has like all the ace X, all the king X. Like he has a lot of actually really strong hands on this texture. So seeing like the bet once check turn, I think it was super reasonable from Easy Game.
And when you see a small size in the river and you love your hand, you just kind of discount like not a bet. You just kind of what's your rule here when a small size and you like your hand a lot? Do you to raise? Do you have a kind of set rules here?
I mean, it's tricky because Easy Game could be setting up like the bet 3-bet shove here, which would be quite interesting. I actually hope that's what we see. As a small bet, I guess he could just be like targeting small pairs and like the very rare 4x suited that Jans could land here with. I'm very curious what he does here at the King 5. So he does call. And he probably knows that like he has to raise call, at least it should be considered, right? And so that makes those spots like super tricky to determine whether or not you want to raise the river when someone bets small there. And it just really depends on your opponent's 3-bet river bluff frequencies. Like if it was top heavy, I would expect him to be like raise calling every time.
Yeah. Yeah, all very interesting things to note. Chance dropping again, knowledge, understands, been so many final tables live online. Very impressive resume. He understands situations and has got a good feel. And how much is that? How much experience comes into play in these spots, these final tables? Even here, Philboard actually gets a pretty good spot to just rip it, right? I mean, he's got nines. Player can have bluffs, and he's shortest stack. Risk premium is one of the shortest, I would say, right? He's basically second, but yeah, it's enough to get in. Knows there will be some folds and. Unlucky there for Easy Game timing wise. Philboard definitely will have some raised folds, but nice pickup. Philboard at 1.7 million right now.
Yeah, he's doing it. Come on, Theo. We need some hands from our shorty. I like that you talked about blind versus blind and how much you enjoy it. I think that the way that button, small blind, and big blind interact with each other is the most important aspect of poker because they happen with the highest frequency. And so like you often hear people say that you should study what happens at the highest frequency. In our closer course with chip leader coaching, it's actually on sale right now for 55% off for the WSOP. We have an essential poker strategy section, and it gives you all 8 iterations of button versus big blind, button versus small blind versus button, big blind versus button, and like even the multi-way versions. And like you said, it's by far the most important aspect of poker. And the EV is just insane. Like I have spent a lot of time studying specifically those 3 positions and how they interact with each other.
Worst aces, 1.4 million. What a hand to wake up to. Theo short, but still 80-20, no guarantees in life, let alone here. Clean. Could chop. We got chop outs chance. This is a little more life for the 4s, but the aces will not be denied. 1.4 million. This is what I'm saying. It could go fast. Then you got a couple doubles. People balance out, and you may have to cancel your afternoon and evening plans. This could be a record. This could be easy, and we'll see. Easy game. Not just a cakewalk. Little adversity, but
get it over with, guys. I got work to do.
you got stuff going on. I'm actually hopping on a flight to Cyprus directly after the show. I'm on my way there. Going to go over that, not play, be commentating there, so that'll be fun. But a little bit of a hike. That is not an easy trek. It's 2 flights and a drive, and North Cyprus.
Where's home for you right now?
What's that?
Where's home for you right now?
Miami area, South Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I didn't realize you were stateside these days.
Yeah, for a while. Been here. It's great. Can't really play online, right? It's not an option for GG, and it's nice to be able to do the commentary, do some podcasts, be at home, just relax. But no, I haven't played online forever. I think, yeah, I mean the WSOP online stuff. I'm tempted to. I'll be in Brazil coming up for a while as well, so that should be fun. But me and you can battle again. Some PLO tournaments. PLO bracelets, hopefully heads up there for one. That'd be fun. We've played a few times, some PLO ones.
We had some nice battling there during COVID.
Yeah. Yep. Ace 10, ace jack, king on the turn. So Billboard in the lead, gotta like that turn, right? I mean, the board's a little scary, but you feel pretty good here with the 10. I mean, the easy game, of course, too, his range is so wide, right? He's going to be the one that can have some murky hands. He does put the pressure on, though, and kind of makes Phil decide for it here. It's not so easy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the ace is not the best card for Filbert to have, since a lot of the bluffs are ace, jack, ace, queen. I guess jack 8 suited, 7 8 suited as well.
Yeah, a lot of notes. I do love, this is my sort of, at the moment, the most studying I get to do, and very interesting hands. There's spots that I just think are, curious. It's great to talk to a competent, talented, successful guest, but it's also fun to kind of look in and ask people about spots that are unclear about, or that I just think are different. I'm not sure if I would ever play the same way. So definitely some head scratchers, and that's the fun part too. You don't know, is it good? Like if someone does something, if the great player does something and it looks kind of weird, I'm usually like, all right, that must be good. And then if I don't know, like say a player does something, I don't know who they are, and they do something kind of insane, those are the ones I like to look at. Like, is this guy out of his mind, or is this like, am I behind, or is this a new thing? So it's the game's always changing. That's the fun part.
Yeah, I mean, watching poker is definitely a great way to learn. Well, got some big stack on big stack violence here. $280. That's big. Let me look at what percentage of the pot. So 75% it came out there.
All right, a little bit of pot control, and ace jack of hearts with, it's got a huge hand, right? But there's a lot of things that can beat you. So here he does go for a check, and it's curious if he will try to value bet on this particular line with the bet check. And I'd still feel pretty confident, right?
He's going to bet big and look polar to flushes, since most of his strong like overpairs and ace jack would bet turn. And that way he could comfortably fold if he gets raised. Because if you're polar to flushes, your opponent isn't going to bluff. So easy game is a pretty easy check call here, since he chose to check instead of block. And yeah, Dimov is going to extend his chip lead. If he folds here, I'll just be amazed.
It's big size, but like you said, it's so like things miss. He doesn't have a diamond in his hand, and the check on the turn sort of, it does take down the strength, like cap him a little. Although the diamond, right? The diamond's a thing. A diamond comes in, as flush as possible, and easy game, not with the easy decision here.
Yeah,
it's hard to get cards up. What do you think he's gonna do?
I mean, like I said before, I just think he's always calling. Like if he folds here, it's a huge exploit based upon, like I know that the solvers would call on his check. It would just be a huge exploit based on his knowledge of his opponent, which would be very impressive. And based on his stats, I mean, definitely possible. I mean, this guy has played this tournament 6 times and cashed all 6. So I think that he definitely has some like really good notes on his opponents in order to make these exploitative possible folds here. And like most players would have just snap called this. He took 3 minutes and then found the fold. Like that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great fold. Props. And I actually am happy to see that. I don't need my two big stacks taken from each other.
Yeah. Shout out to Natural Barbero. Has been on and been checking out the show at times. Blake Bodge, a lot of people in the chat today, a lot of friendly faces and some new ones as well. Be in tune to the 3 giveaways. The hands up that is pinned. Guess the winning hand, exact suit. So Ace of Diamonds, 10 of Hearts, for example. You can click on the link, go there, guess it. Jackpot progressive every week. No one has hit it yet, so it's getting a bit spicy. And then we also have, of course, the Twitter. On my Twitter for the live now, that's $50, and then Chance and I I'm giving away 50 or 100 depending on the players that win today. About half of the players you get 50, half get 100. We said that earlier. So 3 active giveaways, and we are, of course, Chance and I for dinner. If you happen to see us, while Chance and I are at dinner, I'll treat. If you're in Vegas or you're around and you walk by, and you know that we're on the show and you see us, you can join the dinner as well. My treat, or well, I'll just treat you. I'll treat them because I might not win. I can't put that on.
I got it, bro. Tab, if I lose, you can invite more people to our dinner. It's fine, buddy.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we are seeing some disciplined poker. We've seen some good plays already, some aggressive plays, a few missteps, and here is the ace-4 suited. Is this a click? Is this the new thing? This is what I'm saying. I'm seeing some min click 3 bets now. Chance, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm used to seeing like the 2.25 to 2.5x with this effective stack depth, but this is twice now. I've seen Sako. How do you say his name? Sako. That guy. And Jans both chose the 2 big blind to 4 big blind sizing, which might be the new thing. Like it kind of accomplishes the same thing. Your opponent has a hand that they're either going to fold, 4-bet jam, or call. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that as the short stack, that is not a good fold. Which I don't want to knock Philborg, a great player, and the previous 3-bet fold with the ace-5 suited was a great spot. Like the sizing was really good. It just didn't work out because Saku opened or woke up with ace king. But I think as the short stack there, that fold, not the best one that he's made. Just too much hand, too small sizing to fold.
Yeah, king queen suited, king 6 suited, deep. So you expect versus a early position raise. I would say expect call, but we see a raise here. Chance. Deep.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier when Philborg had the ace-3 diamonds that the king X suiteds are the better combos to 3-bet bluff with. And I actually had been calling in DevOps seat here, and based on some of the studying I've done lately, it actually does perform a little bit better as a 3-bet. So cool to see, and especially cool to see from such a winning player who's great at taking his chip leads all the way. I am surprised to see this as a flop check, though. I would just expect him to do a small size, but I guess he can delayed c-bet or check raise or kind of do anything with his hand that he wants. And now it's not going to work out as well for him.
Yeah. Pretty interesting too on that flop if he had c-bet, which I typically see players c-betting small in those spots. So do you like that check? I mean, he actually hits a decent board for his hand. I guess his logic is that the player's gonna have more 4, 5s, and 8s. Is that the reason you don't?
It might just be a range check on this texture for him, with the intention of check raising versus small sizing, and then also you have the option to delay when it goes. When you check this board, Saku's just never going to choose a large sizing, so you don't have to worry about having to fold the flop. And so you can check flop when he bets small. You can check raise when he goes check check. You can choose a large size on the majority of turns. That would at least be his logic, and I think it's somewhat unlucky that his opponent turns the queen here. And be interested to see if he wins this still. This is a cool one.
Wow.
These spots are so cool, man.
The jugular. Wow. The full jugular. I mean, king, queen. How can king, queen call? I guess at the same time, what? Diamonds miss. You got Chance, talk me through this. What's he thinking here?
But these spots are incredible. Like Ogden definitely has like aces, kings, maybe the occasional 6-7 suited. Ace queen might land here if he three bets it. I mean, this is a super cool spot. Love to see it. And I think that it just comes down to your opponent's like tendencies. Because the solvers really don't know like what percentage of the king X suited your opponent's three betting. So the solvers are just guessing in this spot when in reality it just comes down to your opponent's tendencies. And I mean, that was incredible. What a great hand.
Sick. Hand of the day. I mean, you might as well just
Yeah.
put that down. That's it. That's the highlight. That's the lead hand at home. Stamp it. Yeah, but nice hand. That is right. It was a nice hand. Not even like a nice. It is a well played hand, and that is good for the chip lead. 7 million. Everyone looking up, and it is a. That's a statement. Big statement. Big lead. Nicely played.
And Jeff, you asked about like checking the flop. So he checked. His opponent hit the best possible card he could, and he still got him to fold the river. So like that's just a huge amount of logic and why you can go with the check. I guess you just get so much more fold equity in two big bets than small all in. Like that was cool. Love to see it. Free dinner dim off. That's my boy. I think that ace-6 suited was a really good spot to open. The button, small blind, big blind just have to play so tight. Like Sako has to play so tight now that Filbert's getting shorter. So you just have to fade getting screwed with by one of the guys on your left, and they kind of have to three bet call versus like the shorter stack of Filbert. So I think that was a really good spot to open up.
Yeah. There is a Filbert, some interesting spots. I mean, I love it. Here he goes with the king 9 suited, basically, yeah, committing jack queen off. Gonna find it. Just I think this is something, timing so important, of course, and there's some luck to that, but understanding who opens how wide, especially the big stacks, how willingness they are to open outside there. And king 9 suited finds a good spot, right? Gets a fold. He had the best hand, but not an easy committing of the chips there, and does that. So a nice pickup from Phil getting the chips.
I think a lot of players miss that spot thinking like I only have 11 blinds, I don't have fold equity. But when you like really like step out and think for a second, how much wider your opponent's range is opening because they're chip lead into second, third place. It's a significant widening of the pre-flop range. So all of a sudden you do have fold equity. So really nice pickup by Phil Worth there.
Yeah, some world-class stuff. We are still playing again to a winner. Appreciate everyone being in here, and we are in a wheelbarrow on the flop. The ace 5-3 deuce 4 suited going to flop the dream. Jack 9, nothing of interest, but easy game now. How to proceed? Draws out there, wide ranges. Want to be betting, just hoping maybe your opponent has ace X, 2 pair, a big flush draw combo, something, and it is a whiff from Jans. No chips going to be going that way into the pot. So that is unlucky with such a big flop there. The steel wheel looking good there. Deuce 4 suited and no action on it. As we see, this is how it should be in Hold'em, right? No one ever has anything. It's hard to make a pair, hard to get a good hand dealt pre. We see the aces, kings, ace jack suited, queens all in. It happens, but sometimes just no one has anything. And here we go, blind on blind. 2 Austrian flags, 2 crushers. A lot of history here, no doubt about it. These guys know each other well and go to a flop.
And both players are highly incentivized to like keep the pot small. Like you just don't really want to make a big mistake here and play too big of a pot. Also, I love how delusional we are as poker players, because I'm like the exact same thing as you, Jeff, there with like, oh, I flopped the straight and the guy had nothing. But it's like we played deuce 4 suited and flopped the straight. Like, but we still say it's unlucky that we didn't get action. But like I said, I'm exactly the same as you. I just think it's funny how we are.
Yeah, it's another couple. This is one of those ones, right? Solver world, king jack suited can get kind of frisky on the button, and this is just a call. Very nice hand. Definitely, you could see a 3 bet there. Is that maybe not with the particular stacks, but that is a powerful hand.
Yeah, I mean, just think of it as like 5 of 7. he's opening into 4 players that have him covered, including the chip, like very aggressive chip leaders, big blind, and very confident players, aggressive players behind him. So Christian's going to have like a lot of really strong hands, and so you're just not going to want to have nearly as many 3-bet folds with hands that have this much equity when that's the case. I would expect check small bet, but it could go check check. I'd be really surprised to see Sako bet again. Just one of those way ahead, way behind situations. Ooh.
Yeah, king jack queens, good run out there for queens after the king high flop. You don't want to believe your opponent has a king. It's kind of a dirty hand, right, with the queens on that board, because the king queen you block, ace king probably 3-bets, right? So it's sort of not too many king x's there that you're going to be behind. So
Yeah, I also think it comes down to like what it can get called by that's worse. Because seeing that check on the river actually surprised me. So the logic must be that like our opponent doesn't have anything to call with, so we need him to turn a hand like Jack 10 suited, 8-9 suited, Queen 10 suited, 9-10 suited into a bluff. Because if he had King X of clubs, he's betting turn. We have like it's really difficult for him to have King Jack O, Jack 10-0. Like those hands just don't exist. So I really don't ever see him having a king of clubs. It's just super hard with what we have. So that was interesting. I like to see it. This is an even smaller 3-bet, isn't it? 160 to 290.
Yeah. Chance, I think the game just shifted. You know, that Sam Grafton tweet about every year was different, up to crypto 2017, the styles. It's like maybe this is the new thing. I'm not up on it. I haven't seen it. Like it hasn't really been happening ever on the show, and now here we see like everyone doing it. It's like literally like something just shifted.
Yeah, I mean, this is great to watch. It's just that inflection point of like the ICM and not wanting to risk your stack. You excited to bust out these tiny 3-bets during the WSOP, Jeff?
I do like flop. I like playing flops, but I don't know on the 1500 or the 3K 6 max if that's going to be the style that gets it done. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to be there that long. I only get a few events, so maybe just experiment. You know, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I think the nuances of short stack play are just so intriguing. Like those are such cool spots.
For sure. Ace queen, pick it up. What event are you most excited about this summer?
I mean, other than the main, probably the 250K.
It's a fun one. Reasonable one to win. Reasonable field size.
I can't let
What's the bracelet count? What do you got? I know you got one, right? At least.
I got 3. They're just right here on the screen. You can't quite see them.
Three. Yeah, you got like I said, your trophy case. I'm moving more towards the YouTube stuff. The trophies are hard to get. That's the funny part. That trophy's not even. That's like a run of Reno PLO 6 max one. That's not even that's not a big daddy one. What do you got? What are you working over there at those trophies? What you got? WPT there? What is it? What else?
WPT. I got a Venetian deep stack. Another Venetian, like 3,000 Pearson, $300. We got a card player cruise. Bellagio Cup, 10K for $500,000. 10K UPT high roller for like 450 or 500. Then there's 25K, 3,000 person, 1,600, 3 bracelets, and a couple of hard rock tournaments.
Very nice. You got some hardware and nice hand. Jans picking off the bluff, has a pretty good bluff catch candidate, and I think someone messaging and mentioning that he is Dutch. I believe so. So some of the Austrian players are actually German or from other countries. I think more favorable laws that people get set up similar in the U.S. Right? Like I have a Canada, address, Brazil address, like places where you have to have a residency or a lease agreement somewhere that you go and have a bank account. So that there's some hoops and hulas in general to play from, and that is, I believe, one of the countries that is not super favorable for all the sites to play. And I'm not positive on that, but I believe he is Dutch. I think that's correct. So that is something you will see players move to a place to be able to play, which is, Chance, we experienced that Black Friday. We're getting old, man. You're 35, 36. What are you?
36, yeah.
Yeah, me too. We're right on. We were in the same time frame. That 2011 Black Friday wake up DOJ on the screen. I don't know if you had money tied in. I think pretty much everyone playing poker had something, right? It could have been crumbs or it could have been some cake, but either way, there was money that was tied up, and it was a pretty surreal experience. I know exactly where I was on that day.
I got 200 back from UB. I had a ton tied up. I got Stars money back first, the full tilt money back a little bit later, and then wrote off the UB money for expecting cents on the dollar. And then such a small percentage of people filed the claims that the UB ultimate bet money we actually got back in full 6, maybe 7 years later. And I got it right around Christmas. I got like 193,000. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Nice. Theo's gonna win one. Let's go. I hate rooting against Billboard though. I like him. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is a great guy. He's just one of those guys. I caught up with him in Bahamas and then he's just fun. He gets it, gets life, enjoys. What's crazy? He was the one person with me when I met my wife at Burning Man. It was me and him. He got his bike broke and I stayed behind with him because he couldn't ride. And then I met my wife right there. Like if his bike doesn't break down, we're gone. And I was walking with him, and then my wife walked past, and then I turned around, she turned around, and Phil Bort was the guy. He was my wingman there. We were talking, jockeying. I had to kind of, he's aggressive, so I had to kind of let him know, no man, let me handle this one. But he was there. He was there for a great moment in my life. I got a lot of love for him. He's a burner, He's an energetic guy. He's just like he gets life.
Yeah, I've always thought he just had great energy. He's just like happy and like easygoing, just good guy all around. Do they have breaks in this, or should I say when's the next break? Do you know, Jeff?
There's no break.
Oh, no break. All right, I'm just gonna grab a water real quick.
Yeah, this is there is there is it's literally, this is one of those things where you just kind of see it could shake. I rarely you see someone get all the chips, you know what I mean? Where and you feel like Dimoff kind of has got the right seat. He's got a really good seat at the table. Could be the one to kind of break it open, but it's hard to say. It is not easy to run people over, right? People also here just so much experience, willing to go for it. They maybe disregard ICM a bit, go for the win. So it is fun to see. But I like Dimoff's seat, right? He's got the chip lead in very, very good position.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to see some crazy ICM punt where someone just does something like super outlandish. And like we would probably expect them to either have some insane read or be a little more recreational. I'm not sure we're going to see it with this particular lineup. But also, I mean, people got egos, people like to go to war, like to battle. So you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, making some notes here. This is gonna be a fun highlight show as well. We got a bunch of highlights pending. There are some There are a lot of Super Millions have gone on now. This is season 2023, episode 11, but this is dead smack in the World Festival. So this is definitely a big one. These are going to be some juiced up ones. I think there's going to be a special by the end of the series, and it does go till June 6th. So still plenty of time left on that. Is Ben going to win a pot? Queen Jack off makes a important pot, 40-80K level. How much do you pay attention to levels, Chance? When you're at the World Series or somewhere, you look at the structure sheet and go into the day and you're like, hey, it's going to be 8-16. Oh, there's a big jump. There's an ante. Are you ahead of that? Do you take a look at and map out in tournaments like the actual levels, or is it just kind of not that big a deal? Like, do you look at that when the antes kick up, or percentage-wise, how in tune are you to that?
Yeah, I mean, it used to matter a ton because there were significant differences in the smoothness of the jump. Like it'd be like, 10 or 15%, and then you'd have like a 30% jump. And so it was like super relevant. But I would say nowadays with the structures as they are, it's less important because most of the jumps are considerably smoother than they used to be.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is, it's a definitely a part of the game. I mean, online too, the structures are important. They move, and there are a lot of differences. There are nuances, and not all structures are the same. And it's important to pay attention to turbo, structure, hyper. How many hands. It's good to be aware. And I think we've talked about this before about tables. What's the maximum amount of tables online you like to play during like say it's like a WSOP spot, like where it's.
I would say 6 to 8. Since I prefer to veer away from the solver and really make exploit adjustments based on my opponents. I think that it's important to be able to focus and actually watch the tables, not just play the hands you're in. Like the people who can play like 24 tables, they either have the most incredible memories and reads on their opponents, or they just don't don't make exploits. Well, this is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a call.
Yeah, eights, nines, and I mean 1.2 million. And Ben doesn't love it, but
Nice, super methodical in this spot, huh?
yeah, interesting. I mean, it's 1.1 million. Does make the call. Great shape, nines to eights. The all suits are live though. Eight's got a little extra thing there. Maybe a sweaty turn. Let's see the online sweat. No, it's got the pure 8 ball, or else Mr. Raleigh is gonna be rolling on, and he is in a good spot all of a sudden. Sitting nice, big pot, big stack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big one. All right, 3 guys to 3 guys.
Yeah, fair fight. Some chips around. It feels about even. The audience at home, be ready. That thumbs up and the giveaway. We will put that in for you. Keyword after that. Blinds are up 50, 100. Pretty makes it easy to see the BBs, but pretty deep billboard, laddering up, but not in a dangerous position. Chance. That's a long shot. Get good odds on that.
Yeah, for sure. Has Dimmock been opening 2.2x the whole time, or is this an adjustment because of the shallowness of Billboard stack?
It's a good question. A7, Queen 6.
Yeah, I don't remember what his sizing were before.
Yeah, 1.4 in the middle, A7, Queen 6, dim off. Thinking about what to do here. He wants to go wild, and look at this, man. Just no fear.
I mean, with Billboard being so short, we'll have to see a spot like this, just applying max pressure to Jans. I have no idea what he's gonna do. What do you think?
Wow. Wow.
Gives up.
Big pot. Big pot. Jans Aaron's. Hello. Little chip
Yeah,
lead. Little chip row over there. 7 million, 5 million, 4 million. Easy game, 3 million. And Sakush sitting all right, been pretty quiet, but doing well to have 2.8 million in a tough lineup, tough seat. Philbort, though, time to go. He's got to get it. He's got to make something happen here. He's got 3 blinds, 9-10 off.
Man, you're crushing this dinner bet now.
It does seem, it seems,
Getting dicey for Fillmore. Giannis has an NE2 spot here, which I think some people might miss. Like, I don't think he'll miss it, but what? Come on, man. Maybe, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I would have personally opened anything suited, like maybe not like 7 deuce and 8-3 and stuff like that, but I think you can open NE2 like profitably there. Nice line by Ben, bluffing up the 3 there.
yeah. King 4 suited. Wow, that's a little unconventional, no? Is this, I mean, it's not like crazy. I guess Philbert, it's just Philbert's short, basically, right? He's sort of all in, or just saying that it's almost like he's a big blind. The thing is, though, does he open up the action there? No. 3, yeah, it would open up the action,
Yeah,
right?
he does.
But also Jans knows that. And this is, I mean, dude, you want to talk about a bit torture, right? To get 2-4 off in the big blind with 2 blinds behind. And he does fold, saves the chips, and here we go. King 4 suited, Jack 9. Jans Aaron's actually does outflop.
Definitely a good Jack 9 to check here on the flop. You want to check some of your worst Jack X. This is twice now we've seen Jans check back top pair twice in a spot where he doesn't have as much ICM being the chip leader. So kind of intrigued to see this. Both times the opponent bet the river. And not sure why he's wasting his time right here. He's just always calling. Is he playing more tables, Jeff, or just this one?
It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, that's also what I wonder in spots like this too. It's just like, you know, how much value it's worth a lot, especially when it's Tuesday, right? It's not like you're forced into other games. You're sort of, you show up and just play this, or do you add in a full schedule? I guess during the World Festival on GG, 200 million in the purse of across the thing, couple. And look at this, the flat.
Yeah, the flat's super standard. Interesting to see how this plays out from here. And the reason it's standard for those who don't know is just like playing a 50 big blind pot when there's someone with 2 big blinds like Phil Ward had there is just an absolute tragedy with tens. You want to have a much more like polar range.
Yeah. Queens 10s. And again, not a great flop for Ben, the 10s, right? This is a pretty attractive flop for 10s. And Jans as well loves it. Loves the board. Blocks like ace king. You think you hear from most likely. Then all of a sudden you block king queen, king jack suited are one of the few hands you're sort of worried about, right? I mean, this is like a fist pump spot.
Yeah, and without the queen of spades, like I think the turn is close between like a pure bet sometimes, like. But when you have the queen of spades, I think you check more frequently than when you don't. And with this particular combo, I like the small bet turn, small bet river. I think this is just a spot for like Ben, where it's just one of the best hands you'll answer with. It's a pretty easy call. And Jans is starting to run away with it.
Thank you for the congrats. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's been, I'm tired. You probably see the bags in my eyes. I've been struggling. I will play some World Series. Please, if you see me there, say hi. Chance as well. I always do enjoy when people come up and say hello, especially if they've been a regular watching the Super Millions or anything else. And it is fun. I do enjoy going live. And Queen 10 off, going to run into the buzzsaw here in bad shape all around. I mean, there's not a queen left in the deck, as a matter of fact, but wouldn't be enough with the queen against queens as it stands. So here we go, multi-way. 7-4, queens with a very nice flop, jack 7-5 rainbow, even though 4 people to a flop effectively with billboard all in, and a pretty good spot. Size wise here, kind of small, what, a quarter, less than a quarter, but very good board for Ben, and easy game with the price. Decides to get out of the way. There's bad scenarios, and he does get out in queen 10 in a hammerlock. Kinger a 9, no sweat there. It is a knockout with GG to Philbort.
Good game, brother. See you this summer. What percent of the players do you think that make the stream on here go back and watch it?
That's a good question. I'd say a decent. That's true though. I don't know though. It's the same thing like on TV. I'm sure it happens to you too. You'll like play a final table or you'll play and stuff, and it's so cool at first. You send the link to all your family and friends and stuff, and at some point you're like so busy where you're like, man, I don't have like that. I'd rather watch something else or do something different with my time than that. Although, do you study most of like your final tables and stuff? Do you watch them? And it's kind of cool to see the cards of players though.
Yeah, I like to see the hands revealed personally, but I'm also like a poker fan. Like I watch a lot of poker, probably more than the average professional.
Jack 5 button, pass it up. Jans Aaron's 9 million. We are 5-handed. Gonna get that. Joseph is being good. Yeah, he's being good. It's hard. I think it is hard for a kid, you know, to be not the only kid anymore. Definitely, he's doing well. But yeah, you're gonna be down to 5. We'll get that giveaway. Need to get the giveaway up here. We'll do that shortly. Once we get to 4, we'll put that up. It'll be a keyword plus the thumbs up. If you hit it 72 so far, about 1,000 on right now. Appreciate you guys. I know there's a lot of action going on. A lot of streamers, a lot of Twitch, a lot of different things. Appreciate you being here. And we are getting to see some of the world's best with one of the world's best, Chance Kornuth, calling the action along with myself. And we'll be back next Tuesday at 2:45 Eastern as well. Special guest. And King Deuce, going to get it done. Top pair, really not a great board for King Deuce, but those top pair, hard to make a pair. Picks it up. Jans, chip lead, ace 3 suited. Good enough for an open under the gun. Ace 10, dim off, not afraid to play pots. Will flat. Could see a 3-bet there. What do you think the considerations are to flat with versus 3-bet in that spot?
A lot of it's just the flatness of the payouts. Ace 10 dominates a lot of the ace X and 10X that we fold if you 3-bet. So it's just kind of one of those combos that on the button, you don't have to worry about, the button continuing behind you. So it's a pretty good combo to just flat. I expect the same here on the flop. Wow, didn't expect that though. Very nice.
Nice, very nice. Jans, 8.5 million, like double second, just about. I mean, Ben's got 4.7, that's 9.5 double, but 4.2 double dim off. Excuse me.
Everyone seems to be managing their clock quite well. No one's like short on time yet, which I think is like an important factor with the quote unquote chess clock that GG uses for their final tables. If you run out of time early and then when the decisions become the most valuable, all of a sudden you're just in a really difficult spot.
Yeah, 10-5. This is a 4x. And tell me a little bit about small blind, big blind. What comes into play if you're going to 2.2, 5, 3x, 3.5x, 4x? What are the biggest considerations on sizing small blind, big blind?
It's going to come down to stack depth. So at this 46 big blind stack, like they are 47 last hand, it looks like most players are actually choosing between the 3.5 and 4.5x, and most people land on the 3.5 to 4x. And then as stack sizes get shorter, you'll see a lot more like 3.5x, but it's also very player dependent.
Yeah, a lot of strategy, right? That is what you're saying. You have in the courses. This is something a lot of the different studying is done. There's just so many situations. You see the button versus the blind. So the button, big blind, small blind, big blind here. We see a 9s and 7s flat for dim off, and I think it not the best flop, but does beat some hands. And both players not going to be thrilled with that flop. Although you see 9s in position with the lead position so big, man. Is position underrated in poker, or is it really just that powerful?
I mean, it's insane. Like you just get an extra element of information over your opponent every time. So it's incredibly valuable, and yeah, try to have it. Like that's why like people 3-bet the cutoff so much more than the button. Is just because like they can call the button because they don't have to worry about anyone continuing behind them. So just a lot of factors like that that just influences people's decisions as they go. And then hand like super standard. Dimov can get called by like some worse size highs and it goes check check. So that one looked pretty good. And like being a chip leader at final tables is just like so much fun. You get to raise everything. Everyone plays straightforward for the most part. It's great.
Yeah, really in control right now. Jan Zarens, who been here before. Guys, check out his results on live too. I think a very experienced player live, knows what he is doing, how to close out tournaments, and he has been here before, I assure you, with the chip lead in a big spot. Very strong group of players remaining in this tournament. Not a lot of slouches in 10K buy-in. There are satellite options, $50, $100, $500 and up to get in, but oftentimes you do see some of the best players in the world at this particular Super Millions tournament. So yeah, this is a very exciting final table. And again, gonna get the highlights up, making a lot of notes. I'm like, I got a lot going on here. It's very exciting to see. I'm trying to see what the chance. I would say what's been the most interesting hand. What's been your favorite hand so far today?
Oh, the King 6 of spades versus King Queen of clubs. Like that was spectacular.
Yeah.
Because I would have just looked at the combo and thought of it as like, oh, I can like just kind of exploit that this flop, and then he found a way to have his opponent have the best possible turn card and still win the hand. So I mean, it's sweet.
Yeah. Well,
Big fan of that one.
I don't think there's another hand that's even close, right? I don't think there is a different hand you could go with. That was sick because yeah, the cool part was the player hit his hand, right? King queen turned the queen, and then he still just got him to fold, went full savage and took it down. That is a hard trigger to pull for all in and did it. So again, world class, very high level, very impressive stuff.
And another thing that really stands out for me with Dimov is just like he has considerably more immediate actions than everyone else. Like he just acts so much faster. And like the turn, he just bets big almost immediately. And the river was almost a snap all in. Like that hand was just freaking awesome.
Yeah. Yep. This is anyone's game. 10 million yans just closing in on though. Feels like he's kind of running away with it though, finding spots, picking it up, and just has separation right now. So this is a spot where you could see a run over, and 10 million is a lot of chips to have.
Yeah, and one of my favorite ways to run good in tournaments is when your opponents just have bad hands and you have like a good hand in double barrel and they just have a hand that has to fold over and over. Like, doesn't get much better than that. Like, that's such a fun version of poker for an aggressive player. Easy game's been tight. I would actually expect this to work. This is very nice by him here. Oh, it doesn't work.
Whoa. Sakuch. Sakush gonna go. What? How would you pronounce that? Saku. Saku. Cool name.
I don't know. What's the flag?
Is that Thailand?
Ooh, maybe.
Good question. It looks a little bit hard for me to tell on here. Again,
Yeah,
looking at
it's
looking at the notes. Season 2, 11 appearances, 0 cashes for Saku, and season 3, 6 appearances, first cash. So, it's always fun when you see that. Like things don't go well, and then someone just banks one off for the title. We mentioned Dimov with 2 titles.
Dimov is the only player that started the final table that has a WSOP bracelet. Do you have any bracelets, Jeff?
I don't. Second, 7 final tables, hard to win. If you have a heads up course chance, I'd like that too. A lot of second places. It's not easy. So the guys that win, you see them their career and they like always win. They're no second place, and then there's some people just seem to get second a lot, and it's hard, right? Because it's like results is what matters. But there is, I got the stories. We I've got the stories. I got the heartache. No one likes a bad beat or a tail. Just winning's more fun. I'm sure the crazy part is like you probably got some where you've won and it's like you're all in ace 3 suited, ace king, take it down, right? Like like for a big one, or you got the get theirs too. But that's the style. You're aggressive. You go for it. I'm more, me. I'm more pot control. I want to do it, take it to the bone.
You got to get
work.
it in bad. You got to get it in bad to get there. Okay. If you start getting it in bad, then you'll know what it's like to get there.
Nines to 9-5. Not a fair fight. Saku, a 3.7 million on the way. Kind of chipping up Easy Game, who was in control, has sort of relinquished and now has a very tough seat with those stacks to the left. And his spot is a lot different. Actually, a short stack with 5 left. I'm going to cue that giveaway here in a second.
Ooh.
Thailand.
Yeah, flop.
Woohoo! That is spice. That is.
And I love
spice.
how you just said Saku's name. That was wonderful. Saku. I'm gonna have to implement that. That was excellent.
I think that's the only way to read it. I don't know if there's another way. 9 stay. Stop! Chance. Stop the show. We need a pause. I was just thinking, it looks like it's over, but it actually isn't. And this is insane. You don't wish this on anyone, especially a close friend. Of course, this is my mentor in poker, and he is about to get a rude awakening. That is a cruel situation here. That is cruel. Look at the sizing too. Aggressive, more meaty, goes for it. No, like 250, keep him in. Like he's like, all right, you either got to draw an ace and bet, and now a raise. Wow.
This is just a hand and a half, man. I have a new, maybe favorite hand, but this one definitely is going to make the highlight reel.
Yeah, this is. I'm already queuing up the notes here. This is in the dirty column.
I mean, we have a dinner bet. These guys are playing it for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, I almost feel bad rooting for this 9 here.
I mean, honestly, this run out is absurd. To have a 6, the action in the hand, you have the ace, and it's just, oh, snapped off. No slow rolls here. Dim off with a massive pot, and Benjamin Raleigh, Ben CB is short, and he is, I mean, that is in the full cooler column, absolute icebox there. But 600K, hey, not over yet. Super short. Seen comebacks before, and it's just it's not over. It is not over, and there's no way out in that chance. There's no hero folds there. That is not a hero fold consideration spot.
It's a value bet. High five your friends, and sometimes you'll lose.
Wow.
And he's like, dude, you gotta have a tight range here. Nice. What a spot. See, this is why Dimmadov wins when he gets here, man. Taking this spot is just a pure ICM consideration. Like, you're risking 540 to win 500. I mean, this is just above the rim. It might not work, but these are incredible spots. I love them.
I mean, that again, talk about great hands. That's just a great poker hand. Great understanding the situation and going for it. Like you said, just pure playing the spot. An easy game knows it, right? He's kind of like, this doesn't feel good, but I could just fold and likely ladder up a nice amount. So pretty crazy. I'm going to go ahead and get the giveaway here. I'm going to cue this up for you guys. And again, my Twitter, Jeff Gross Poker, you can hit the retweet. And we are going to go keyword GG. Actually, let's call it the World Festival Chance, and then your GG Poker username. So I just put that in the GG chat in the YouTube one. So keyword above World Festival Chance, and then enter your GG Poker username. Chance. If you don't have a jurisdiction where you can play GG Poker, give it to a friend, split it with them, gift it to them, give them a percentage, sell a percentage. Enter the giveaway. We got over 1,000 watching right now. So put that in, put it in the chat, and good luck to you guys. Good luck to you. Keyword is above World Festival, Space Chance, and then your GG Poker username. That is what you need to do, and that is what we are going to put in as we see King Queen stepping the trap over to nines. Pretty good spot. Not the cleanest card, but still King Queen top two, feeling good. World Festival, Space Chance, Space, your name. That is going to be a giveaway. Will be $50 or $100. The hands up. We did that earlier. That is live, and tweet is live. So 3 giveaways today, and Chance and I for a special dinner. If you happen to be in Vegas, in the vicinity, pop in. Pop on in. And here we go. Not the cleanest run out. Not the cleanest run out for King Queen, but Jan's thinking about it. Does he want to go for it here? And I think he's just thinking a little showdown. Minor showdown.
So I'm interested to see. I assume that Sako is just gonna. Wow, I'm really surprised he doesn't call this. Like, that seems way too tight to me. I don't really understand that fold.
Well, taxi cab, King 10, Ace 4, King on the flop gives Ben some hope, and no player with the club to the river. King 10 in the lead, and slow peel. Clean, slow peel, 1.2 million. Don't sleep on Ben. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to tell you at home. Don't be surprised if there's 4-3 left. All of a sudden, Ben's got 3.8 million. You're like, wow, wasn't that guy in 600K? Like, this is just never over till it's over. Chance. You got some. I know you got some spin up stories in there. You've done the all in, leave a chip, come back thing. You got moves. You've parlayed. This is not over for Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I had a 1.5 big blind stack on the bubble of the Aussie Millions 25K with like 24 caching or something. Maybe it was a little less, but something around that. And ended up sneaking into the money and then spinning it up and winning. So, I mean, there's some fun spots, man.
It's fun as a short stack. It's fun to ladder too, right? It's kind of fun when you see chaos happening. You're like, oh, I got 4 blinds and guys are busting, and now I've got 9 blinds, and someone was waiting and passed the spot with 13 blinds they should have taken, and now you're in the mix. And It's actually, as a other player at the table, when a short stack's there, it's like kind of tilting when they just like survive or run it up, right? There's something about that.
So like back in the day, and you know how like, I mean, most of us that like really really grinded had like grind houses. Like not too many of us like grinded by ourselves. So like I had this like friend, and we had this thing called like ladder jerky, where like you make a final table, you put the bag of jerky out, and every time you get a ladder, you get to eat a piece of jerky. Well, I love jerky, so that was like what we did. And whenever like I send him a screenshot of like on my final table or something, he's like, "You got the jerky ready?" And it's just like now it's actually my partner with chip leader coaching, but like it's a fond memory whenever I think of the ladder jerky.
For sure. Well, laddering it's real. It's real. It's a real thing. There's part of the game, and we are going to see Jans, who has 8 million, still the chip leader. Of course, Dimoff is in the mix, close behind, and sort of a race for the next three. I mean, it's not a guarantee, but Dimoff and Aaron's are pretty good spot for 1-2, right? The rest are, there's big pay jumps there though between third, fourth, fifth. So, and of course, still being alive. So it's worth a lot to be in a tournament because anything can happen. Certainly, any of the other three could win, but at the moment, Arons and Dimoff are in the driver's seat for those pole positions. A lot to play for here today. A lot of money, a lot of excitement, and there is some special hands today. There now there's not like a clear one. We've seen a few special hands. We've seen a special cooler as well. We've seen some dramatic all ends. It's really everything you could ask for in the final table. We get the full works here, and it is a couple of pairs and ace jack here. Dimoff going to come in with the threes.
And I guess I shouldn't just spoil it. There's some that are like they just always play out a certain way. So like the logic for making it $1 million there instead of shoving for 2 million is on the rare instance that Jans rips it and Hagen and Dimov calls, in which case he would actually fold for the last million because the pay jump is more plus EV than like the incredibly low percentage of pot equity that he would have.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. But why make it at 1 million and not 810,000 or an 865? How much does that actually matter on the committal part of it? Or is it just like sort of irrelevant at that point? Because you would think if you're doing that, why not keep a little more and no one's going to flat like 800? What's the difference between 810 and 1 million or 865? Like, does it, or just doesn't really actually matter that much?
Well, let's watch this hand and then I'll give
wow. Wow. Queens, Jack 9. Ben takes a spot and he is going to run into the buzzsaw, but open-ended.
Don't rule him out.
Nope, you can't. You wouldn't do that. Although the queens are blocked, he still has some potential for a straight. It is not enough.
Good game, Benjamin.
Very well played. Got coolered. One of the hard ways to take out Ben. You gotta kind of you gotta get him. You gotta get him in a tough spot. He got coolered, and we are down to 4 with the giveaways live. And tell me, Chance, the difference. What's the difference on that million versus like 870 or how do you do that when you're?
So I would say that like all of the even good players, not even just elites, understand the concept that I said, that like you don't need to put all the chips in. See how he takes the ace, the offsuit combo of the aces, not the suited one here. Very, very cool spot. Easy game. Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Wow. I expect around 20% here. You could check, but like it's just really not what people do these days because they have such extreme range advantage on these sectors. Like, because like Jans doesn't land here with like 8-9 suited. Like I think he's folding that pre.
Yeah, King 8 does get some equity and showdown, and now Ace Deuce with the as played, can he extract some value? Pretty good run out, right? The Ace 5-7 Rainbow King and is going to get paid a little bit on the river there.
Very nice 10%. Just milk him. for a big blind there. I like that. Yeah, so like all of the, even decent rigs have understood the concept of the not quite like not shoving in those situations. But I don't really think that there's a massive difference on like what immediate price you're laying your opponent with whatever combo you have. It's kind of all about just committing yourself if it's a heads up all in. Like I don't think anyone's really wasted the time of studying like the subtle nuances of making it one big blind more or less there. I don't really think it matters at all.
Yeah.
Nice fold by Jans there.
Ace 5, Jack 7, blind on blind. Saku is getting leaned on here, putting some pressure, risk premium. How valuable is that concept? The shortest stack. How much do you play into that in spots, Chance, with when you're the shortest?
It's extremely relevant. So like the way I think of ICM, because like you could solve for as much ICM as you want, right? But like it doesn't actually dictate people's bust frequency. So the way I like to describe ICM to my students is a logical deduction of players' bust frequency in combination with how steep the payouts are. So like, let me give you like a really firm example of it. If you and I both have 10 big blinds and you're just this like psycho crazy guy, well, ICM is a real thing because you're going to bust way more frequently than you should. So I'm going to play really tight. But then say that you're a really tight opponent. Well, in that case, and we both have 10 big blinds, I would play much more close to chip EV because I wouldn't expect you to bust first. And so, like, that's what I mean by it's a logical deduction of the bust frequency of your opponents. And that bust frequency is obviously like has a myriad. Ooh.
Wow. Ace King, Queen King. Woo. Big pot, 7 mil in the middle. And it needs runner. Is it 16%, 84% Ace King, and gets the queen? Oh my goodness. This is a dirty turn, and it's gonna hold. And it is GG, easy game, 3-handed. We got to get that giveaway going. Giveaway is live, and it is a interesting 3-handed match now. 10 million, 9 million. It's like who is hanging on right now. Can he get it done? Can he move on up? It is 10 million a pop about at the top. We are 3-handed early today. Early quick work on the show. It is a absolute.
Wow, and the turn 9 here on check flop. You just love to see it, don't you, Jeff?
It's the. I'm telling you, that hand, it gives me so much. It's just so painful when it goes poorly, when you get it in, when there's shorter stacks. And here though, Queen 9 and Queen King, this is a pretty sick board. I mean, pretty sick. I guess there's Jack 10, there's some straights, there's stuff, but Queen King feels good. 8 Queen 9 feels better.
It's just gonna go big call like every time.
Yeah.
King Queen has like one of the best possible hands he lands here with. Dimom's bluffs are like kind of his 10x and Jack X that he just has no showdown value with. And in fact, he might even land here with Queen Jack once in the blue moon. Wow, with that size, you can't have Queen Jack.
Whoa.
That is interesting.
Jans, what's a Jans WWCC do? What would Chance CK do? What would Chance do? WWCK. This feels very close. I mean, of course it's tough. Top pair, second nut kicker, heads up hot, 3-handed short stack over there, but interesting. I mean, it's a lot of chips to put in. It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Gen Pop really doesn't bluff here often enough. It's hard to say. Also, like your opponent can't have 9-6 of hearts here, so there's like one less hand that you can get called by. But I mean, he's targeting just purely the queen X portion of a range. Maybe he thinks that like queen 10 never folds.
A lot of time bank. Want to mention the chess clock. All players here playing very quickly, considering 15-minute shot clock. Oftentimes we'll see players with basically no clock left. I think Jan's actually got still 8 minutes. I mean, everyone else 11:45, 11:53. So been a really quick final table in general. What do you think about the chess clock chance? Is that something could we see that at the World Series? What improvements could the World Series do? The big blind ante was a huge success in live tournament poker, right? Saves time, effort, actions needed by players. What's the next big tournament change that you're seeing, or maybe some tours do and others don't, that it should go unified?
This is optimal in my opinion. I think that it has like a little bit of. I'm sorry. This is the best it's available. Because kind of the problem is like, say you start off at a final table and you're the chip leader. There's a bunch of short stacks. You're raising every hand. You're in a bunch of difficult situations post flop on the river, and then all of a sudden there's one guy who hasn't played any hands because he hasn't had to. He's just had a shove or fold decision almost every time, and you have like a minute or no shot clock left and they have like 12 minutes and heads up lasts a little while. Now you're actually at a pretty big disadvantage having to like play heads up with no shot clock. So like I do think that maybe three-handed players should get more time or something like some kind of way to reward the players who like based on the amount of pots you get some more time back, like something like that. But this is as close to perfect as we have. You'll see in the live tournament environment, they're trying to do like a shorter time pre-flop. WPT's system is like incredibly broken right now. It's just 15 seconds pre, and like say you raise pre-flop, by the time I like ask to see your stack, it's been 15 seconds. And so like that needs to be fixed. But like, it's getting better. It's an imperfect system, and like live, it's incredibly difficult to have like a chess clock like this. Nice fold by Jans there. But like in general, I think that it's getting better. There's no perfect solution yet, but they're doing what they can.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I mean, but it's crazy, right? Like it's just like any game, NHL, soccer, they change the goal size, they change the rules, MLB, they just shave off the pitch clock, right? Shortening games by 30, 40 minutes. Thing. I mean, this is like
but like it's different, right? Because those are professional athletes who are getting paid. We like this is our game. We're putting up money to get a service from the poker tournament stop or from GG, and so like they should be tailoring to us. And so like if they're doing something that makes the streams look better when we're playing for seven figures, like that's not cool.
right.
So it's like really difficult. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's interesting here. King six suited, 9-7, 9-7 in the lead. My point is, it's fascinating that a game like the NBA or the NHL or poker that's like been around for so long, when there's like major changes that are actually like brilliant, it just like makes you think what else is there, right? Like it's a big deal to uh to shave off time in MLB, right? That's like a major change. In poker, the big blind ante, it's a huge difference. You're playing 9 hand at the World Series, and now every hand you had to ante, you had to be proactive and like whatever. Now it's just in your big blind in the blinds, right? So it's like that's a huge difference. There's a lot. That's like a big adjustment, actually. And
Definitely.
it just changes. Like it's like I'm saying, it's now the shot clock, right? The tournament tours are doing it on at a certain point or in the money or deep into the money live. So there's just saying there's ways to optimize, make it more enjoyable. The dinners stopping at 8 or 9 p.m., playing straight and then getting off, right? Instead of playing like these type of changes. Like look at online poker. You remember when the 5-minute break happened at the 55 on the hour? Because like it's hard to imagine that before. I can't remember when it happened, but like that's crazy. What were you doing when you played on a desktop before? What would even happen? I don't even know. Did you just
You would
feel
like
out?
I would basically like go like this and like you're clicking fold and you're like, all right, I'm under the gun. Like, okay, I'm under the gun, I'm about to move, and you click and then you'd like run and beat. Like it was insane.
Yeah.
Most of the people that like play now don't even know what it was like. Like that was like a whole different animal. People was like I never had one, but a lot of people did. I mean, I would always arrange my desk very close to like the bathroom or like certain thoughts like that you'd never consider nowadays.
All right, ace three suited, 4-5. 4-5, basically the nut low. Ace three suited, doesn't have a pair, but has the best hand out of position.
Yeah, and then this trend of like the two big stacks with the shorty is, to play conservative and passive and tight, and that's definitely what you're going to see here until they give heads up. If you're
Yeah.
thinking about a bluff raise here,
4-5. 4-5. I mean, it's an interesting pot. No chips put in. Does give it up.
you got to like his avatar picture too.
Yeah, there's some creativity. I mean, the software is great on GG. It's emojis, the GIFs, the whole deal. Tens here. Queen Jack going upstairs, and ooh, Saku is liking it. He is liking what's going on. We could get a little bit of a sizzler here. Tens and Queen Jack, although it does flat. And now Queen Jack, maybe a little story to tell.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if we didn't see a C bet, but I was a little surprised with the King 6. But I do think this one is considerably more of a C bet than the other one. Dun 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 dun. 1.8.
Is that the size? Are you just dialed in? Is it just going? This guy, I'll tell you what, Dimov is not afraid. There's people
I
that are
think he bets
afraid.
third, but yeah.
There's people that are not afraid. And this is,
So he went with quarter here, which could be a product of the SPR. Like if Jans calls, it's still like a very comfortable shove. Jans has almost no king X in his range, and I would expect Dimov to follow through. Like he just seems like the type.
wow. Wow. Get the brick. Get the brick. I mean, is it? I mean, they're 6.3, 6.4, and Saku is really singing a haiku. He's thinking about writing a poem. If this isn't all in and he gets to go basically ladder city from but I mean, really, it'd have to go bet, and then how's 10's going to even call? I mean, it's a lot has to go right. He would love to see the bet call, whatever happens. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, and Jans.
I love when it's like exciting like this. These are such fun spots.
How much of a difference does having the 10 of spades make there? Is it massive, a little, or he just never calling? Bravo.
It's not a huge factor, I don't think. Because as you can see, like Dimov's turn barreling range isn't just spades. So like it matters if he's only going to barrel spades, but like if he's barreling everything, then it's just a non-factor.
Yeah. Jack Deuce, look at Saku getting a little out of line. And Arons, does he want to just rip it, ship it, or does he take a flop and just upstairs, right? All in this particular holding and spot. Although Saku's been pretty in line, so it's one of those spots you just kind of close your eyes, maybe run your 30% equity if you get called. But in this spot, we will see a fold.
Yeah, it's just a math spot. Like there's just nothing you can do. And like as you see here, he works with that 2.5x range size, and that's a product of being in that 20 big blind mark. Like sub 20, you see a lot more 2.5x and smaller small blind sizing.
Yep. King 10, powerful hand, three-handed on the puck. 1.9 million, not afraid to battle. Queen 10 suited, pretty looking hand, deuce 3. And rips it, just a full Chipotle. Tacos and burritos all in on Saku. It is the 14 million, 6.6 million, and Saku is 7-4 off with 1.8. And Dimov running away right now. Getting a little nervous. I mean, I'm in, this is the audience. We got 109 thumbs up. We get to 200. I'm just going to make it a $100 giveaway. I think, who do they have? I think they're light. Do they have people left? I think we gave who'd we give there? When I can't remember, I just give 100 to the audience, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. I know there was Phil Bort, there was Ben. I think it was more. I'm trying to remember. Do you remember who we gave for the 100 chance? I'm gonna have to relook, but I'm feeling like I'm leaning towards 100 giveaway. Either way, gotta hit the thumbs up. Gotta put the keyword in.
Yeah, I think it was 100, but I'm not sure. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I might just give 100. It feels like the audience gives us 100. we're giving him 111 thumbs up. We appreciate all of you today. Going to give one more shout out to Chance. And where can they follow you, Chance? Of course, the Chip Leader Coaching, but where can they follow you personally?
Chances Cards, CHANCES Cards on Twitter and Instagram.
Pretty simple, straightforward, across the board, uniform. King high call, hello. Well done. Not the craziest call, right? I mean, it's a pretty good board for king high. Does make it. Dim off, little blemish on his chip lead, but all eyes on our friend Saku, who is short, but not out. Short, but not out. And these guys, we've seen some big bets and big bluffs. So, maybe that's factoring in for Saku. Is kind of like, all right, I'm going to play, it's just surviving, makes a little extra money because these guys are wild. And he is in the middle of a bit of a dogfight. Look at this, queen jack, good hand, ace king suited, better hand, tier 1 upstairs, ace king. So we haven't seen a ton of big pairs today, have we? I don't think we've seen a lot of aces. There's some shows where it feels like aces, kings all the time, and today it hasn't been a ton of amazing hands. Queen 6, 8, 5.
These are nice spots to attack with the small sizing. You just get to get range advantage, where all of a sudden you have like all of the ace jacks, and your opponent has none all of a sudden. So it's a good defend by Sakuch because he realizes how polar Jans is. But again, like just taking that line in general is going to be a print. Very nice.
Whoa, 3 real hands, ace king suited, jacks, and queen 10 suited. Pretty looking hand, but it's gonna not get to go and play. Jans, does he ever flat, or is this just upstairs? Don't need to get crazy. He does flat, okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. It does make sense that he plays it as a call and an induced from first dim up.
All right, well, jacks, ace king, we are potentially heads up if we can avoid a river card. It could be down to 2 as we do the slow peel. Clean, and it is heads up for a 3rd place for Saku. Well done. There's a look at his lifetime results on GG. A player rocking a nice avatars there in the end. Jans Arons, I think, what's that? That's our friend FU15, also been on the show. I believe that's Nick Mamoni. I think in the picture it popped up a little bigger for us to see. And who you got, Chance? This is a big battle.
I mean, this is perfect. We each have one of our guys for the dinner bet. They're both super tough. I think I played Dimov heads up in the 10K GG heads up a while ago. He's super tough and good, and but Jans is fantastic too. So I think we got a great match in front of us. I'm excited to see who takes it down.
King 6, ace 8. A little bit of action heads up, open-ended, ace high, as well as king and 6. The missionary top and bottom. I mean, this has got them making us some chips.
A missionary top and bottom. I've never heard that before.
Come on, man, Chance, get your hand nicknames right. That's an easy one. Top and bottom in poker. Come on, that's a common situation. You know that.
I just haven't heard that line before. I've heard so many hand nicknames, but not that one.
I just want to credit when you hear. I actually don't know where I heard that from. I might have made it up, but I'm sure it was said many times before. I just don't have anyone I know where I first heard it from. But king, queen 7. Oh, the computer hand, Chance. I know you know that one. Queen 7 off, dead middle hand, and poker and heads up.
Yeah, that one's easy.
If you know the queen 7 offhand, let us know in the chat. I don't think that's not an auto one. I mean, I'd say that's like a mediumly known one. It's not a guaranteed like speed limit or anything.
Jans' picture is of Nick Mamoni.
Yeah,
that's amazing. What a great troll.
Yeah, he's using it in there, and he's got a lot of earnings on GG over there, almost 10 million in earnings on GGPoker alone. Very impressive resume as we take a look at his season 2. 7 cashes, 4 final tables in season 2. In season 3 already, he is in for 4 cashes out of 9. So Jans, a lot of experience in the Super Millions, knows the structure, knows the levels, and is battling a very worthy adversary here. Dimoff, tough player. Anyone's game. Slight advantage Dimoff at the moment.
Cool spot. We got flushes. We got some king X. Might bet 8-9 for this size. But Jans has a pretty good hand to call one more street with. You got a diamond with your pair. And now Jans all of a sudden has some flushes, but most of them check raise. A lot of straights, couple two pairs. So I don't know how often Dimov triple barrels this card. It might be a spot he gives up. He loves following through though. This guy's great.
Queen 6. Nice. Scratching his head. Definitely been some time bank used playing dim off. I think that's where the majority of his 10 minutes so far have gone, getting put in the tank versus this man over there, because they have been playing some big pots today. At least now it's heads up. Both secured a lion's share of this tournament prize pool. Of course, no deals in Super Million, so they will play for a winner, play for all the money that is showing on your lower right of your screen. But it is wide open for who is going to win. And look at this. Fine, enough's enough.
Very nice.
Touche, even game. Even game. 11 million 7, 10.7 wide open. There are money's worth here today. Chance for a sweat. Audience, we're making $100. I'm gonna pick the giveaway here very soon. And I'm gonna select a winner here very shortly. Good luck. I'm just making $100. $100 giveaway for you guys. The hands up, if you guessed you're eligible, is a opportunity to win the jackpot. It's progressive. So good luck. Guess the winning hand. You know, it could be 2 7 hearts. You guess that, it happens. You hit the jackpot if you are in that hands up link that was provided earlier in the stream. And of course on Twitter, Jeff Gross Poker. Retweet, follow instructions, live now, $50. We'll announce that today as well.
This could be a big pot if Jans plays it as a 3-bet.
Yeah.
Right on the bottom of that merge value range.
It's pretty hard with 22 million chips in play to have exactly the same stack. That is what we have here at this moment, and it will change on this pot one way or the other. And Dimov, does he ever flat? Does he just take it up? He just goes for it, right? And heads up, maybe just get the ace 10 suited versus jacks or nines.
Yeah, I mean, this hand's just way too good to do anything but
yeah,
get excited and try to get the money in.
Yeah, and Jan's pretty hand, but all of a sudden less pretty. And ooh, little something backdoor flush draw, nut flush draw at that. Gut shot. Aces happens to be good. Got to figure either the 9 or ace, likely good. And then he's got the 7 for sure in his mind that would be good. And big pot brewing.
Interested to see what sizing he chooses here. So 144 divided by 25%.
Oh, behave, man.
Hate to see it.
Look at this. Like, what a this of spades. Of spades, just for extra measure, just to feel extra suited, extra spicy.
Takes it out of the deck.
I mean, dealer. Okay, little control here now, and the hearts miss. Jack so strong and heads up. Does your opponent call? What does he have? A 4? Does he have a 9? Does he have a set? What does he have? Chance. What does he do? He goes for all of it.
I mean, doesn't wait long either. I think it's like really difficult to get called here, but Dimov hates folding. Loves the aggressive choice. All right, good fold. Man, he plays great. Very, very impressed by Dimov's play today. I think he's been like by far the most impressive player at the table. All right, Jeff, hold it down for a second. I gotta pee.
All right, I gotta go too, but I'm gonna hold down. We can't both leave, man. I've been holding out through the show. I really do love these. I love being here with you guys. Thank you for watching. We're gonna play to a winner. It is heads up. And we are gonna play to it. I gotta get the giveaway queued up, man. We got a lot going on. 9-10 on the river makes a pair. And King Queen, we saw the call earlier. Thinking again. What does he beat? What can my opponent have? I do beat hands, and I do call, he says. That is Jan's Irons going to call once, king high, different spot, right? The ace double paired board, and here, little dicier board and dicier result. And that is a notable hand, and we are going to get the winner. I got it. I'm getting it done here, guys. You have a time to type in World Festival Space Chance Space, your GGPoker username. And yeah, we are. You're here. We got it all queued up. I got the giveaway ready for you guys. We got it. We have got it. We have got it ready, and we got a big old hand. Ace, king, queen, deuce. It is a wide open heads up. A lot of big blinds, a lot to play for. Dinners are at stake. The hands up is at stake. It's a lot. This is all you can ask for. We got a perfect sweat. So many times it's over three-handed even, or a blowout. But this is even. Chance Kornuth joins us again back here, and we are a second-time guest for Chance. Was on with Kevin in the past, so first time us doing commentary together. Always good to catch up with Chance. We do have a podcast as well. We've done. If you want to check that out, you can search it on Jeff Bros Podcast. So Chance, he puts in the time. He's a giver. He gives time. He gives effort. He does courses. He's got bracelets. He's making babies. He's active. Chance is active out there. He's on mute, but he's there in our spirits. He's in the mix.
Thank you for the reminder. Did forget I was muted.
It happens. I've done it before. I'll tell you I've done a podcast muted for the whole time, recording the live one with Brian Rass, an hour and 10 minutes. So that was interesting. I mean, there's tilt and there's life tilt. And that was not fun, but it happens.
Yeah, I've had to re-record some content, and man, it's brutal. Like when Foxen and I were recording the closer, I mean, it's long. There's like a lot of good material in there, and we probably had like 2 hours worth of like really good content that we had to like go back because like I had the wrong video setting or something. And like whenever you have to re-record, man, it's so frustrating.
It is, but that's one of this has got potential for a big old pot. Just flat, king high, a little frustrating for eights there, where you don't love the board, and actually the one sort of clear big over is connected with your opponent's hand. But I bet you it was a lot better, right? The next time around, it was like probably the moment you were super tilted, and then you're like, oh, we already did it. Let's it was good and make it a little better. And that's how it kind of took away when we did that. But it is still not fun, right? Especially if you nailed it. If it was just like really good and you got to do it again, and you're like, wow, I'm upset, but you know how upset my friend is and partner.
And you feel bad because like Rast is doing you a solid by jumping on and doing everything, and it's tough.
Yeah, supposed to be a veteran. Oh, I've only done it for however many years, but yeah, somehow I don't know how to check the audio or do a test or figure it out. But hey, it's we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and things happen, right? It does happen. And King Queen is gonna get moving here. Big bet.
So one thing Dimov does incredibly well is he's always incredibly cognizant of the pot formation, and by that I mean like he's very knowledgeable of what sizing he wants to choose to get the SPR stack to pot ratio to what he wants on the river. So like he chose a size here that he gets to comfortably shove. And you actually notice that with like every pot he's played. Like even the jacks in the most recent 4-bet pot, he actually chose quarter because he could still shove the turn. Like he got a bad turn, made a good river fold. But that is something that he does incredibly well, and you'll actually notice that all of the elites do well.
Yeah, I think it's also really just being aware of what blockers that you have, or reverse blockers, where you sort of just realize what's going on, what are likely hands my opponent have. Okay, I'm going to go for the sizing, target this if they happen to have something, right? Instead of getting this amount of the pot, I can get all of it, or I can set it up in a way where they just can't fold certain hands. So why not go for bigger value, right? And I think that's one of the things that changes, or that is different at the highest level, is people are able to extract the max in spots. And there's only so many spots where you get top pair to a set, or whatever it might be, or you make your nut flush and understand that the guy, or understand how much a player folds or not. So that's it's very, very, very fun. And this is what the best players do the best, I see, because they know how to get to know where they're at in the hand and how to bet accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is interesting. I mean, eight's blocked flushes, but it's not super relevant since a lot of the flush draws probably bet flop for a small sizing. Um, then his king X becomes like king 10 suited plus, I think. King 8 suited might call a 3-bet. King 9 suited probably wouldn't check back flop. Maybe it would. But I actually think king queen is a better flop bet than king 9 since you unblock the continuing range of the 9x that Jans could land here with. He's really eating at that chess clock though.
Yeah, we were just saying, like, no one's really used it, but I mean, Timoff is, if there's an award, a badge for putting your opponent in a tough spot. It's it is. Here it is. He calls, and that is going to flip flop implications for all as Dimmoff now. He is does make the call, says nice hand, good sportsmanship, 6.2, 16 mil. Title on the line, goes for the win there with eights. What's your man? It's against Dimmoff, right? The guy's shown it. He's shelled it off light. He doesn't have to have it. He's going to have some bricks there.
Yeah, that was a great one. Love seeing it. Now we're going to see big bet call, I would expect. Oh, he checks. Interesting. Ooh.
Got the winner picked out here, so I'm gonna announce it. Could be over any second. That's the crazy thing about Heads Up. We got the giveaways queued up. Twitter active, and we are ready for a winner here. Jan Arns up against the fours calls. There are fours in the lead. Ace, ace, jack, 6-9. No interest likely here, but creative players get creative. Some check raises and random spots. That doesn't feel like one to start getting spicy on.
No.
Off the ace, ace, jack. That might just be a hard pass.
Might just need a backdoor flush draw or something.
Ooh, big hand for heads up plays considered. And 5 jack 6. No exciting hand as of now. There are some interactions here, and we do see like the big gap sometimes 3-bet like air ball with the big card, but just a call, and both players going to connect here. No one that interested in betting. Both have some showdown. Both don't love it, and a lot of bad, scary-ish turns to proceed.
Yeah, Dimmock has a hand that wants to go 2 streets here on the turn. Jan's, the vast majority of his 9x, 9, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8 are going to be betting the flop. So on the turn, Dimmock still has the effective nuts, and by that I just mean a hand that can bet twice for value. This particular run out, it's a little bit closer, but he goes for a nice value bet here, regardless of the 4 completing.
You say 9-10. It's just, what's the sickest cooler you've seen 3-handed or less? I remember there was like some Venetian like 4-way or 3-way all in for like a big tournament that ended. It was like aces, kings, queens, or I've seen a few times, but
it was Angelko and Andreevich in that tournament.
Yeah,
and he had the queens, and he banked a queen to win it. He's a good friend of mine. That has to be it. Like that's the one. That was incredible.
What was it? Aces, kings, queens, or like something crazy, or was it aces? It was. There's been like eight. I remember in Montreal, I think at Playground, there was like aces, kings, queens, or like 4-way all in for something. It wasn't like a WPT, but it was, or a major one, but it was big, and it was like 4 sick hands. So it's gonna happen, but you like to see it play out. You like to see a nice bluff or an aggressive move. The cooler aces to ace king suited, not fun here. Both players playing some great poker, and we're gonna get to see a champion awarded today. Jack 5, kicking it up. Actually has his opponent in a bad spot with the. This is a pretty nice play here that is dominating and going to be hard for Arns to really release, but he is in a world of hurt.
Wow, yeah, this is excellent.
Balls the 7 on the river, 3.2 SPR1 Dimmoff. Is this it? Is this a shove and a call? Does he think he could be getting trapped? Does it make more sense to check instead of shove? all things going through here, and Dimoff is wondering, do I have the value hand? And Aaron's as played, going to be hard to fold here. 1:30. That chess clock is winding down. Might take a little time on this one.
I think he's going to use it all here.
All right, that's a $100 winner right there. Mark T. Just in case it's over and calls, we may have to go to the break screen. It might be all over. I don't know. Is it over? Is it not? No. Arns will play another hand. Not going to do. We do have the winner. $100 going your way. Mark T. Congrats, my friend. Thank you for the support. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Thank you for engaging, and appreciate everyone being here today. We'll be back again next Tuesday, 2:45 Eastern, but it's not over. There's still some poker. 19 million, 3 million. It is not over, but it is looking a little bit bleak for Arns right now. Chance looking good for you. Maybe I might miss Vegas this trip. If it's not this summer, it's or this WSOP, it's void, right? The dinner. So I might have to take off. So might have to miss that one. Or is it just any dinner, man? I don't know. I feel like you're a man of fine wine, dessert. I think the whole deal, man. This could be painful. This could be a real one.
No. I've been sober for a while now. You're not going to get caught on alcohol. Don't worry.
Fair play. Me either. I'm not completely, but I'm not really, not much. Not the old days, man. We used to run around Vegas, have some fun. No, I mean, those are the days back in 2009, 10, 11, 12 WSOP. Now it's different. It's a different celebration on a big score, right? It's
yeah. Like I used to rage, man. And I was talking to at the table with Chewy, and I'm like, yeah, I retired from drinking or partying. And I was like, yeah, but I used to go pretty hard. And he's like, yeah, most people that retire from something typically had a good career in it. And I was thinking, that's a good way to phrase it. Definitely had a good run at it, but happy to be sober now and devote my life to family and company and poker, and it's great. Different types of celebrations, like you said.
Different phases for sure. That's what I always say to people out there too. It's like, even right now, is it the Hard Rock had the 6 series, didn't go, just had a baby. It was in the backyard, thought about it, whatever. But it's just it is, man. You take it for, not for granted, but it's just completely different. You're probably how it works, what you do, how much you play, all that. It's things change. So enjoy it. If you're out there, you're young, you're watching, and you're traveling the world or thinking about diving into it, enjoy it. Enjoy the time with less commitments and all that, because things do go. But I'm sure we'll be back, right? We'll be back full on at some point. Kids will grow up. You see those guys, our age is the ones that sort of drop off, right? You got the young guys, and then you got sort of the guys that are retired or like to play and mess around. So I think this gap, and we have an all in. We're rendezvousing 9-10, ace-10, ace-10 to keep the tournament alive. It is a gut shot picked up on the turn, and will we see more? Will we play more? It is not over. It is a double. Double up. We can rendezvous and reminisce about the good times. And again, there's nothing like the current times. I'm just saying, from a poker perspective, it's definitely less play, less. You're not in there just firing all day long, all the time. That's for sure. And we are 9-5-3. Ooh, something. 3 decides no. I see a lot of no bet and delayed C bet in general. That seems to be more common in a lot of spots that I've noticed too, but I guess that's all depends on a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, you have enough second pairs, you can delayed C-bet there and stuff. I just want to take a second to look at Dimov's stats in this tournament. 37 entries, and that's not counting this one. So 38 entries, 14 cashes, 2 wins. His results in this tournament are incredible.
Yeah, I was saying on season 2, 3 final tables with 2 wins. I mean, just gets it done. I mean, this guy's, Ben Raleigh, 6 final tables, no wins. No one at this final table had a win in season 2 or 3 other than Dimoff, who has 2. So actually, could be a 3-time winner here, and he is a big favorite to do that.
Oh, he finds the river raise. This is a close one for Jans. Calls it off.
Queen Jack, it's up. We are in pursuit for the winning possible hand, the wheelbarrow. That is pretty conclusive. 100% locked up. Dinners and all. Congrats to the winners today and the giveaways. all the above. This was a treat, a very fun final table, a dinner going to Chance as well for the time. And there it is, a little bit of that picture sums it up. That is he is celebrating and excited and just can't believe it. Third time in season 2 or 3. Congrats to Dimoff for the win. And Chance, give me some takeaways today. Anything that stood out for you?
Dimoff is an absolute crusher. Holy shit. Like, he earned that. I mean, deserved is a word I don't use in poker, but like if you look at the king 6 suited, the king 6 of spades bluff from early on, the queen jack bluff, I mean, those were for significant numbers of big blinds, and he just absolutely crushed this table. So really, really fantastic and impressive, and congrats to him.
Yeah, hats off. Really, really a strong performance. I am very impressed with what I saw today. A lot of notes, a lot of hands to look at, a lot of discussion, and of course the World Festival continuing on GG right now in the middle of the 200 million going to June 6th. Plenty of events from the low, medium, high, and super with the 100K leaderboard in each of those categories for additional awarding. So good luck out there. Best of the rest of the day for you. Chance, thank you for the time. Appreciate it. We'll see you in Vegas, and I'll see all of you next week on Tuesday, 2:45 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much, and big thank you to Chance. Give him a follow. Chance's cards across the socials. Chance, thank you for the time, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. I look forward to dinner.
Yes. See you next week, guys.
Bye, Jeff.